We're now going to look at the drafting setting called Snap. This is at the leftmost part of the drafting setting part of the status bar at the bottom of the AutoCAD screen. It's here. Snap is there. Now you'll notice that Snap is not switched on right now. Now the reason for that is I want to explain what we're going to do first of all. Now you'll notice here I've drawn two lines and they are dimensioned 100 long and 200 long. So the vertical line there, 100 long, the horizontal line there, 200 long. Now what I want to do is I want to break these lines down into 10 unit increments. So the 100 long line will have 10 increments. The 200 long line will have 20 increments of 10. Now I can do that and I can snap to those increments very, very easily. Now, the one thing I do know here, which is a little bit of a cheat actually, is I know that where those two lines intersect is the coordinate 100, 100. So they're all placed exactly on nice, neat coordinates. So let's right click over Snap here now and go to Settings on the shortcut menu. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to switch Snap on. So there's Snap and Grid at the top, the tab there, Snap on. And you'll notice by default anyway, the Snap X and Y spacing are already set to 10. If I wanted to set them to a different value, say 25, just type it in. It's a standard Windows dialog box used within AutoCAD for data input. Now make sure that you do not switch on Grid yet. We will cover that later. Now the snap type that we're going to use is grid snap, rectangular snap. Make sure it's not set to polar snap or isometric snap. It needs to be grid snap, rectangular snap there. Grid behavior, you don't need to worry about that at all. It's all to do with grid spacing here. The only thing we need to worry about is snap on, snap X spacing 10, snap Y spacing 10. If I now click on OK, you'll notice that the Snap button down here is now highlighted in blue, indicating that Snap is on. Now, move your mouse around the AutoCAD drawing area. It's very jerky. That's because it's snapping to every increment of 10 with regard to coordinates. Now, this is a huge benefit, because what I can do now is I know that if I go down here and find that point there, that snap is exactly a midpoint. But the benefit that I have now is I can draw a line and go and hover on the first increment here like that. As you can see, that's snapped to that end point there. I don't want it there, so it's very easy. If you make a mistake like this, hit Escape, click on the line command again, and just make sure that you get the crosshair there. Now, look, you get an endpoint snap. Now I don't want my endpoint snap. I want that increment 10 units away from that endpoint snap. So just hit Escape there and just go down to the status bar. Click on OSnap once. That'll switch it off. Now Snap is on, but OSnap is off. So now when I draw a line, I will get that increment to work. There you go, look. And I come up there, line it in, left click, enter to finish. I'm drawing exact increments without any object snaps. It's a bit like that phrase, look mum, no hands, isn't it? But the good thing here is I'm using my snap tool with my specific settings to draw my lines. So I might want to do a horizontal line now. And if I go for this increment just here and get the crosshair here and drag this way and line it in with this line here using the snap and then enter to finish, I now have an exact intersection 10 upwards and 10 across from the original corner, the original intersection of the two lines. So as you can see there, snap is extremely useful. If I switch it off though, watch. Just click on it to switch it off, look. I now can't snap to anything, so what I do now is I go back to OSnap, switch that on, and I can now draw a line, let's say from the intersection of those two lines there. Yeah? So you can see that snap has its purpose for regular increments, regular objects that need to be drawn. Object snap allows you to work from a relative viewpoint where you're snapping relative to existing objects in AutoCAD.